Hey, what's up guys, it's Jonathan here. There's been a lot of talk about the Hertz and Tesla deal that just got announced recently. And I've heard many YouTubers post videos talking about this deal. But in a lot of the videos I've watched talking about this deal, I feel like there's a couple of major points that have been kind of glazed over. So I decided to make a video to address some of those details that may have gotten glazed over during the announcement of this deal. So in this video, we'll discuss the specifics of the deal, some of the things I've heard on the internet about the deal, and some of the concerns that I have that may not make this deal as bullish as it sounds. So as usual, if this video provides any value, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button for the YouTube algorithm. It greatly helps out the channel, helps push this video out to as many people as possible. So let's get right into it. So the best place to start is to talk about what the deal, and there's two parts to this deal. Hertz plans to acquire 100,000 Teslas and add them to their fleet. And this plan will bring approximately $4.2 billion of revenue to Tesla over the next 14 months as these cars get delivered. And this is so far the largest EV purchase that any entity has ever made. And then the second part of the deal comes a couple days later after the first part was announced. The announcement was that Uber will team up with Hertz to offer an additional 50,000 Tesla Model 3s to its drivers to be able to rent on a weekly basis. And Uber is pitching this as a way Uber drivers could save money on sky-high gas prices we have currently. And with this deal, Uber drivers will be able to rent Tesla Model 3s for about $334 a week, plus taxes and fees. And eventually they plan to lower the price down to $299 a week. So when it comes to the first part of this deal, I think that it's a slam dunk. I think it's 100% positive for Tesla. And I think that it's good for our bottom line, especially that Hertz is paying market value for these cars. So the first part of this deal is solid. For me, the big question comes with the second part. I've heard various YouTubers talk about how this will be so good for Uber drivers because now they could rent out Teslas and charge a higher rate and make more money. I don't necessarily agree with a lot of the people who are saying this. And this is mostly due to the way the numbers would work out. So let's go through this example calculation that I made. Uber drivers could only rent out the Tesla Model 3. And for this example, we're going to use San Francisco. In San Francisco, the highest rate you could charge for a Model 3 car is the comfort rate, which is slightly higher than the normal Uber X rate. And on average, an Uber driver in San Francisco makes about $45,000 gross every year. And remember, gross is before expenses. And that would translate out to be around $22 an hour. Let's say a driver was to work a 40-hour week. That means that the most one Uber driver will be able to make is $880 a week. So let's say that said Uber driver was renting out a Tesla Model 3 from Hertz at $299 a week. They would only take home about $581 that week after they pay for the car. Then we'll also have to consider the cost of electricity as well. And let's just call that $25 a week. That would put their weekly earnings of around $550 a week. And if you divide that up by 40, that would be about $14 an hour. And for comparison, because of the high cost of living in San Francisco, the city of San Francisco has its own minimum wage set a little bit over $16 an hour. That means that if an Uber driver was to rent out a Model 3, they would still make less than minimum wage. The cost of a Tesla would take a huge bite out of their profits. I don't think that renting out a Tesla on a weekly basis would be the smartest thing for a driver to do in the long term. I feel like the Uber deal will have a lot more headwinds in its way. Because another thing you have to consider is the tax implications of renting a car that you're going to use for Uber. So when you rent a car that you're going to use for business purposes, you can only write off the cost of the rental and the fuel. And one of the biggest write-offs you get as a business when it comes to a vehicle is depreciation. It usually makes up almost half of the write-offs that you could take. And because the rental car company is taking the depreciation write-off, you can't take it as well, as the IRS rules state that only one entity could take that write-off. And since it's the property of the rental companies, they're the ones that are allowed to take the write-off. So I think that a better way for Uber drivers to drive around a Tesla in the long term would be if they just buy a Tesla outright. At the time of this recording, if you were to buy a Model 3 Tesla and put a $0 down payment on it, you would pay about $670 a month, which is almost half of the rate of the Hertz rental. And on top of that, you'll be able to depreciate the car as well, which is an added bonus to lower your tax burden and hence increase your income. And another thing as well is that if you were to buy the car directly from Tesla, you would actually be paying off the car. It wouldn't be a rental. So that means that once the car is paid off, it's completely your car to own. Which, given the fact that Teslas have pretty good resale value, might actually work out to be a better deal for you in the long run. So for me, I think that the Uber Hertz Tesla deal is really good for publicity. I don't think that it'll be very successful in the long term, given the economics behind it. And I think that most Uber drivers would just be better off buying their own Model 3s and paying it off over time with the money that they earn from Uber. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And also, for those of you who don't know, we actually started our own Discord channel where we talk all things money, personal finance, stocks, and real estate. So if you're interested in that, check out the link in the description below. Check me out on all my social medias. I try to post there every day. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.